She was crying, but I responded, "Look, you are not the prettiest girl in the world."
Damn!
My brother had to go to the hospital because I had bitten through some important veins.
This bitch is a vampire? Dad says my girlfriend is too ugly.
Hey, I'm Robert, and
What's up,
I've always
Robert?
been very good looking.
Oh, really?
I'm not saying that to brag. It's just that every single girl in my high school wanted to date me.
Oh, God.
I was young, and of course, I chose the hottest girl. Her name was Rebecca, and all I had to do was say
She wasn't the hottest if she was Rebecca. That was her name? So you're lying to me from the start.
hi to her. She immediately responded, "Oh my God, hey Robert." And a few hours later, I made out with her.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? He peaked in high school. He peaked in high school, 100%.
Afterward, we dated for 2 weeks. But I didn't actually like Rebecca. All she did was gossip and trash talk her own friends.
Ooh.
At one point, I had enough and broke up with her.
Wait. You broke up with her where? Is she pooing right now? What is the scene right now?
I could have found another gorgeous girl, but I liked Elsa the most. She was my chemistry partner, and
Okay.
I simply enjoyed talking and hanging out with her.
Yeah.
Was she pretty? Well, most people would have said no, but I really didn't care.
You could have just said yes. Okay.
All I knew was that I wanted to spend more time with her. That's why I asked her out. I said, "Hey, do you want to go on a date with me this weekend?" She seemed very surprised and said, "You want to date me?" I nodded my head and said, "Of course." Our first date was great.
Aw.
We went on a Ferris
Get it? Her name's Elsa. Get it? Her name's Elsa, and she has Olaf in her hand. Hilarious. Ah.
wheel and held hands.
Aw.
It sounds stupid, but it felt right. But then the news spread at our school. A lot of people asked me, "Why are you dating Elsa? Do you really think she's pretty?" Of course, I hated those questions because they made it sound like I was somehow out of her league. But I never thought that way.
Okay.
I just knew that Elsa was the right girl for me, and for the first time in my life, I was in love.
So what did you say to them when they asked you if she was pretty, though? What did you say? What was your response? I'm just curious. I just want to know.
Then I introduced her to my dad and said, "Dad, this is Elsa."
His dad looks like a rich prick. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look at the pyramids in the background. That represent pyramid schemes. They not slick.
"Elsa, we have been dating for a few months now, and I wanted to introduce her to you." But instead of welcoming Elsa, my dad pointed at her and said, "I don't like you." We were both shocked. But Elsa was a brave girl and asked my dad, "Sir, can I ask why you don't like me?" And my dad responded, "I'm sure you are a nice girl,
Okay.
but my son is a 10, and you are a 4 at best."
Damn! I'm curious, what does a 4 look like? What is his definition of a 4? That's crazy. Straight from your pop's mouth is insane. First time you meet too?
I saw that Elsa was holding back tears, and I got so angry that I screamed at my dad.
Okay.
"You monster!" Then I took Elsa to my room and tried to
You
comfort
monster is
her.
crazy.
I said, "My dad's opinion doesn't matter." But then she asked me, "Do you think I'm pretty?" And I responded, "I don't think it matters whether you are pretty or not."
Wow! You're fucked. He just had to say yes. That was it. That nigga said it doesn't matter. Oh nah.
But Elsa couldn't handle my answer. She started crying and said, "So it's true what the other kids in our school say. They all think I don't deserve you." She was crying, but I responded, "Look, you are not the prettiest girl in the world.
Damn!
Gonna cry, bitch.
You either accept that or not. But I love you just the way you are, and there is nothing I enjoy more than spending time with you. Isn't that enough?" Finally, Elsa said, "Yes, I can live with that." I thought we had solved this problem.
Why did you think you solved it? You're an idiot. That's what happens when you're a 10. When you're a 10, you're an idiot by default. It's like in their genes. Mentally, they're deficient when it comes to social cues. Oh my God.
But the next day, my mean dad took my phone and wrote Elsa a message saying, "I'm sorry, you really, really aren't pretty enough for me.
Your
That's
dad
why I
all
have
in
to
your
break up
business.
with you."
Your dad's too much
When
in
I
your
had my
business.
phone back, I saw my dad's text and Elsa's reply. It was a single sad smiley. I immediately went over to her place and explained what my stupid dad had done. She said it was fine, but I could see in her eyes how much my dad had hurt her. Our next date wasn't good either. Whenever a good-looking girl was close to us, Elsa said, "If you want, you can talk to her."
That's so
I always
nasty.
responded, I don't want to talk to other girls.
You made her insecure. You made that happen. That was your fault. There's no one else to blame, buddy. It's all you.
But Elsa's insecurities only grew worse, and I missed the careless and fun times we had before.
You ruined it.
I hoped she would become her old self again. But then my dad took it to the next level. He said to me, either you're gonna break up with Elsa, or I'm gonna throw you out of my house when you turn 18.
That's so
Well,
extra.
my 18th birthday was only 1 month away, so those weren't good news. I asked him if there was some other way. I said, what if I instead study even harder for school? But my dad wasn't willing to make any
Why
compromises.
your dad on your business?
You probably expect some kind of happy ending, and then I married Elsa despite my dad.
No, I didn't expect no happy ending. You told her she wasn't pretty to her face. That's not gonna end well. I didn't expect it to end well.
But that wasn't the case. I was only 18, and I really didn't want to be kicked out of my dad's home. Also, Elsa and I were just teenagers. What were the odds of us two staying together for the rest of our lives?
Wow.
They were pretty low.
Wow.
And that's why I told Elsa I wanted to break up with her. Of course, she said, oh, it's because I'm too ugly. And she was crying again. But this time, I was so annoyed of her that I only said, no, it's because you are immature and insecure. Unfortunately, our breakup led to her having a small mental breakdown. She didn't come to school for 2 weeks, and then a month later, she sent me a picture with her and some random good-looking guy making out.
I don't blame her. W Elsa! W Elsa, because you lied straight to her face. That's not why y'all broke up. You mad at her that you made her insecure, and you're taking it out on her. W gaslighting!
It looked gross, and she wrote, I just wanted to let you know. Wow. I really hope she will fix her problems, because right now, she is behaving like a maniac.
That dude crazy. Addicted to eating cockroaches?
My name is Sissy, and I grew up under terrible conditions because my mom was mentally ill.
So she passed down her mentally illness to you, and now you like cockroaches? Just a prediction, just a prediction.
She often made me steal stuff from shops because no one suspected a little girl like me to be a thief. Of course, I
You
was
must have
scared
been
of
white.
being caught, but my mom gave me no choice. However, one night she drank too much and fell down the stairs. Suddenly, she couldn't walk anymore, and I had to take care of her even though I was only 11. We quickly ran out of food, and I said, Mommy, the fridge is empty and I'm hungry. She responded, stop complaining. Instead, go catch some cockroaches so we can eat them.
W parents! See, that's mom of the year right there. She's making sure her baby don't go starving.
Was she serious? I was petrified of those disgusting little insects, but I still trapped one of them and showed it to my mom. She told me to cook it, but we only had a toaster, so I killed it and put it in there.
Okay, looks like a microwave, but no, it could be a toaster too.
After I'd given it to my mom to eat, I caught many more roaches and even ate my very first small baby cockroach.
Aww.
It tasted okay, so I started to catch hundreds of them and became the provider of my family.
You know, I can't judge. You know, they might taste okay. I just will never know. They might taste spectacular even, but I will never know. You know what I'm saying? I just won't.
But then the toaster broke and we had to eat them raw. Of course, they were extremely dirty, so we often got sick, but at least we had a full stomach. I continued.
How many roaches did y'all have to have a full stomach? That place must have been dirty as hell, bro.
Living like this for weeks until people from the government came into our apartment
CPS.
and took me away from my mom.
Good.
Even though I screamed and wanted to stay with her. I was brought into a
Why?
children's home where people explained to me that my mom was mentally ill, but no one wanted to tell me where she was or who was taking care of her. I felt abandoned and scared, but there was one thing that made me feel safe, and that was eating roaches. So whenever I saw one, I picked it up and put it into a toaster and ate it.
The only thing that makes this little girl feel safe is cockroaches. That's a terrible life, bro.
The taste gave me a feeling of comfort because it reminded me of my mom. I started eating so many of them that I got salmonella infection and had to go to the
Ew.
hospital. When I told the doctor that I was addicted to eating cockroaches, he brought me to a psychologist who told me that there was nothing wrong about eating roaches as long as they were clean. He convinced me to start
guess.
farming roaches, and that turned out to be much easier than I had thought.
They had her back. That psychologist should be fired. Why are you backing this? That nigga needs to lose his job. Someone find his name. Someone find his name. His last name was probably Smith. Fire every Smith that's a psychologist.
All I needed was a box of roaches and some fruits to feed them. After a few months, I had more than 1,000 of them.
She ate the roaches and not the fruit. Now she has 1,000 roaches, cause Lord knows she needs 1,000. That's very necessary.
But I made a big mistake and let them roam around my room freely.
Why?
Because one baby roach crawled through my nose and into my brain while I was asleep. I didn't know what was going on, only that my nose hurt. I kept it untreated for several days until I visited a doctor who saw something moving way up my nose. It took several hours to pull the cockroach out, but from then, I always kept them locked in my box.
Why do you still have them?
I had no friends or family, and I was feeling extremely lonely.
You should be. I'm glad you're suffering.
Whoa.
That's why I started binge eating cockroaches. I probably gained 10 kilograms in 3 months, and I knew I had to change my life or my roach addiction would kill me.
Isn't still 10 kilograms like 20 pounds? 20 pounds of roaches?
I still remember my last roach. It was a small baby one, maybe 1 centimeter big. I ate it raw and alive. Then I brushed my teeth and said, never again. Afterward, I thought I needed an education to get ahead in life, so I taught myself writing and reading by spending most of my days at the library. 6 months later, I enrolled myself in university. There I moved—
Wait, did you say you just learned writing 6 months ago and now you're already in university? I think I'm missing something, bro. Okay, sure.
There I moved into a dorm, but the other girls didn't like me. They said I smelled bad and lived like a pig.
Damn.
I guess they were right. My mother had never taught me to clean up anything, and now I had to learn to shower daily and wash my hands when I got home.
They didn't tell y'all, they didn't teach you at the child's home? You should have been taken away from there too. They don't give y'all baths? Tell y'all to clean up nothing? Oh my God, bro.
But because no one liked me, I had lots of time to study, and it reflected through my grades. One rainy afternoon while at the library, I bumped into a guy. He was dressed in all black and apologized. I could tell he was different. Just like me.
Mentally ill?
I asked, what are you studying here?
He's mental too?
And he responded, I'm studying philosophy. We sat down at a cafe and talked for hours. He was just like me. He said his family had raised him on a farm, but mostly neglected him. He said they didn't speak a single word with him from age 11 to 16. His only friends were books until he ran away and found a job as a construction worker. But his love for reading brought him to a university, just like it did for me. I had a weird feeling when I looked at him. I can't describe it, but it felt good.
This is what happened when two people who are mentally ill come together. A beautiful love blossoms. I can't wait to see it crash.
And 1 week later, we had our first date. We were lying next to each other on the grass when he laid his hand on my belly. Of course I was nervous. I had never had a guy touch me. I didn't know what to do. But then he just kissed me. It was the most intense feeling I've ever had, and I got so aroused that I bit into his lip. He said ouch and went back on his back. I apologized and saw—
He said, oh my gosh, he said, oh my God, this feels so good. It reminds me of my roaches. I must eat. Anom. How do you get so aroused that it reminds you of cockroaches?
that he was bleeding. Gosh, what had I done? I was so stupid. I said, I'm so sorry. I've never kissed a guy before. It's okay, don't worry. I just didn't know you like it that way. What do you mean by that way? You like it rough. That's okay. No, I don't think so. He went back on top of me and gently choked me. Do you like this? I couldn't speak, so I just nodded. I loved the way he played with me. It was the first time I felt truly attracted to a guy.
I'm getting chills. I didn't know you liked it that way. You like it rough? Do you like that?
Afterward, we became a couple and spent all our time together. I loved sitting next to him in the library so I could watch him read books. He always looked so handsome.
She's feral. Every time she sniffs him, the clitoris goes wild.
But one day, he was just gone.
Damn.
He didn't respond to my text, and his doormate said he had disappeared without saying anything.
Oh!
Of course, I was worried. Maybe something had happened to him, so I called up all the hospitals, but he wasn't there. Maybe he had left because of me. Maybe he didn't love me anymore.
I told you the
I
tragic
suddenly remembered
ending.
my mom. For years, I had avoided thinking about her, but now it all came back, especially the guilt that I had not taken care of her. I stayed inside my bed for days, crying my heart out until I decided I had to find her. Maybe she was still alive, so I went to the police and asked them to find out where they had brought my mom 10 years ago. It took them 2 weeks to figure out, but the news wasn't good. My mom had died shortly after we were separated.
Wow.
I can't describe how hard the news hit me. I was absolutely devastated. I knew I was close to giving up and asked myself, is my life worth living?
Don't
The answer
jump.
was, no, it's not. But I knew it could become worth living if I got a nice job, found a husband, and had
Yes.
kids someday.
Yes.
Yes, that would
Don't
be a life
jump.
worth living. And that's what I'm working towards right now.
Oh, so you haven't accomplished nothing and you just went through all this. Damn. Don't jump! My perfect family!
From the outside, our family looked perfect.
Really?
2 beautiful kids, a rich dad, and a loving mom.
Beautiful.
But that was just a facade. In reality, my dad was a cruel jerk who forced me to wear makeup because according to him, I looked ugly otherwise.
You probably were.
I think he enjoyed treating me like garbage because it made him feel powerful and important.
Or he was disappointed that he has an ugly ass daughter, you know, been there, done that.
Baba, am I ugly?
Very much.
To make things worse, he saw my brother as some kind of perfect angel who couldn't do anything wrong.
I mean, look at him, he's handsome as fuck. He's not ugly as fuck like you. I mean, I don't blame him. Okay, I'm done.
That's why they often teamed up on me. One time my brother came home with an F on his physics exam and blamed me for it.
Wow.
He said, "My sister was listening to loud music, so I couldn't concentrate and study." I
Valid.
responded, "That's not true at all. You are just making up excuses for being a lazy bum." But my dad took his side and punished me by making me clean my brother's room. Ugh, it was so humiliating.
Slave work.
While I picked up his toys from the ground and put them into boxes, he threw other toys onto the ground and said,
No, I'm not ignoring the fact that I just saw Chucky's eyes move. Look at Chucky, bro.
I came looking for booty.
He threw other toys onto the ground and said,
They're not slick.
"Pick it up, sis." The worst part was how helpless I felt because no one came to my defense. I was just a kid.
Where your mom
after all.
at?
I think my mom knew how badly I was treated, but after years of living with my dad, she was too scared to stand up to my dad.
Puss!
One time, I even talked to her in private and said, "Mom, you need to leave Dad. He's a bad person and making you miserable."
Take that nigga's money. Whoa, 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 whoa. Cover up. You're just showing the whole world your stuff.
But my mom started crying and said, "Stop it, you don't understand this." I guess she couldn't admit to herself that she had wasted years of her life being married to an evil jerk.
Damn.
I mean, one day my dad even got arrested. It turned out that he had been dating a chick on the side, but not because he loved her, but because he used her credit card to start his own business.
Hey, W, businessman. That's how you get your bread up. Man, that he really working the system. That's a W to me.
My dad got that poor woman $30,000 in debt without her knowing anything about it. But once she found out, she sued him, and not only did my dad have to pay the money back, he also had to serve a 6-month prison sentence. Those were the best 6 months of my life. Suddenly, it was quiet and peaceful at my home. But when my dad came back, the problem started all over again.
Yes!
On his first day, he accused me of being a bad daughter because I hadn't welcomed him back home. So I screamed, "At least I'm not stealing $30,000 from other people. At least I'm not treating my daughter and wife like garbage."
Okay.
Then I pointed my finger at him and said, "You are a criminal. You exploit other people and don't care if you hurt them.
Talk
You
your
are
ish.
absolutely disgusting, and I wish you dropped dead."
Talk your
I wasn't
ish.
sure how he would react, but then my brother said, "Sister, why don't you tell Dad about your boyfriend?" I froze. How did my brother know I was in a relationship? Well, that's what my dad had waited for. He started screaming and calling me a whore, saying I had brought shame onto our family for losing my V-card at such a young age.
Anyone ever have problems with this with your parents? This is what I would do personally. I've done this multiple times to people who, not my parents, but you know, my friends' parents, because they rubbed me the wrong way, right? So you take a little bit of piss, right? A little bit, minute amount. You lace it with any drug you want. You feel what I'm saying? And you put it in their Hawaiian punch. And you just tell your friend, don't drink the Hawaiian punch. Their parents start tweaking. Honestly, it's a wonderful thing. I don't condone anything I just said.
I responded, "Yes, I have a boyfriend, but we haven't even kissed each other, so relax." But my dad didn't care and screamed, "Once you're 18, I'm gonna throw you out of this house and onto the streets. I am ashamed to have you as my daughter." Well, my 18th birthday was still 2 years away, so my dad had plenty of time to make my life hell. He even put a lock on my door, so I had to send him a WhatsApp message if I needed to go to the bathroom.
You know you could have called CPS, right? I'm just saying, like that's you're tweaking. Why are you WhatsApping your dad? Why can't you just use his normal number? I'm tired, bro.
But I knew the way he treated me wasn't right, so I gathered evidence on my smartphone
There
by
we
recording
go.
how he terrorized me.
There we go.
Then, after school, I went to the police and showed them video footage of how I was treated. When they saw that I wasn't allowed to go to the toilet without my dad's permission, they decided to take my dad into custody.
There we go.
And when he got trialed the next week, the judge called him a monster and sentenced him to 8 months in prison.
8 months. You mean I'ma still see that nigga this year? Okay, bro.
It felt so good to finally get revenge on my dad. But my mom wasn't happy at all. She said, "How shall we survive without your dad's income?" I responded, "It's not my fault that you married a jerk.
Damn!
Now you have to live with the consequences because I'd rather be poor than live with him for one more day."
Ooh.
But we never became poor because my mom broke up with my dad after she found a new boyfriend who treated her with more respect.
And you got his money! Yeah!
But it was too late because my brother had already become just like my dad. One time I came home while he was making out with his girlfriend on the kitchen table. The girl was half naked and said, "Oh my God, this is so embarrassing." She tried to stand up, but my brother said, "I don't want to stop." And then he continued kissing her.
Wow, okay.
I said, "That's not how you treat a girl. If she wants to stop, you have to let her go." That's when my brother stood up and came over to me. He pushed me against the wall and said, "You don't tell me what to do. Better be careful before I'll slap that arrogance out of your face."
I bet you
That's when
won't!
his girlfriend pushed him from behind and said, "Let her go. She didn't do anything." My brother got seriously angry, turned around and screamed, "Shut up." Then he pushed her back more and more. I really thought he was going to hurt her, so I jumped on his back and screamed, "Leave her alone." But he just took my hand and twisted it so hard that I started screaming.
If y'all don't punch the nigga, y'all over there jumping on him, hit his dick. If you don't, like a glow stick, a crack type shit, you know.
Out of pain. He said, "You cry like a little girl." And that's when I had enough and bit right into his neck. What happened next is too graphic and violent to show on YouTube, but my brother had to go to the hospital because I had bitten through some important vein.
This bitch is a vampire? A zombie? W, cannibalism!
And he almost died of blood loss. The next day, I moved out. I had enough of men like my brother and dad. I swore to myself I would never date a guy again. They were all the same anyway.
Sarah gay?
Instead, I went to college and tried to focus on my studies.
While being gay?
But as luck had it, my professor gave me a boy as a project partner.
And you're gay.
His name was David. He was so full of himself. He said, "Okay, I'm gonna lead this project and you will follow my orders." I wanted to tell him to F off, but he was so confident and smart that I only responded, "Okay."
What happened to this hard girl act? She blushed.
Am I a pretty girl?
However, he was never satisfied with my work, and he even called me a lazy turtle. But I liked it. The angrier he got at me, the more I wanted to rip his shirt off and kiss him. Gosh, I'd never been so attracted to a guy, so I always dressed up when we met.
Is this when the daddy issues are kicking in? I think that's what this is. I'm pretty sure this is daddy issues. I'm pretty sure. And you're not gay? Like, I could have sworn we were gonna go through a homosexual arc. What happened?
I said, "So, do you have any plans for the weekend?" While fluttering my eyes at him. He responded, "I'm sorry, I already have a girlfriend and I will take her out on a date." I blushed and felt like such an idiot. When I got home, I immediately found out who his girlfriend was. She had many photos of her and David on Instagram, and they were such a cute couple.
Aww.
I should have felt happy for them, but I was so in love with David that my heart was aching. But one time, his girlfriend came by to give David a folder. And when she saw me wearing a short summer dress and lots of makeup, she immediately knew what I was up to. She said, "So, you are my boyfriend's project partner?" I responded, "Yeah, I am." She leaned over the table and said, "Do you always dress like this?" I blushed, but didn't respond. Then David said, "Don't worry, she always dresses like a hoe." I knew he only wanted to ease the tension, but his girlfriend got angry and said, "Stop defending her."
Wow. I mean, they're friends though, so that should be straight though. They're friends. If your friend dressed like a hoe, you tell me they dress like a hoe type shit. So I feel it. I respect it.
"Don't you see that she's trying to seduce you?" David responded, "I know what she's trying to do. But I already told her I'm not interested in dating her because I have a girlfriend." Now I blushed even harder. This was so embarrassing. His girlfriend said to me, "You tried to seduce my boyfriend even though you know he's in a relationship with me? Shame on you. And David, from now on, you won't meet up with her again." He responded, "I'm sorry, but she is my project partner, so I can't stop working with her."
This is crazy. This is crazy. She got all the shame in the world. They just keep pooing on her.
Suddenly, she screamed, "If you don't get away from that whore right now, it's over between us." He looked at her and said, "Fine, it's over." I could see how much his ex-girlfriend was hurt, but she didn't respond and just walked away. David said, I'm sorry. She's always like that.
Nigga doesn't care!
I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm such a horrible person. Then he looked me in the eyes and said, let's stop studying for today and watch a movie at my place instead. Oh my God, I knew I should have said no, but I couldn't resist. I just loved him too much. When we sat down on his couch, he put his arm around me. I'd never had a guy I was attracted to touch me like that.
We need fathers. We need fathers. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is nonsensical. Very nonsensical.
I cuddled myself against his chest and he said, oh, my cute little turtle. I think we were about to kiss each other when his smartphone rang. He took it out and said, it's my ex. He picked up and I heard her say, I'm sorry about what happened today. Of course I don't want to break up with you. I just had a bad day. I hope you can forgive me. But David responded, no, it's over between us. I'm sick of your endless drama.
Damn.
And then he hung up.
Damn.
Meanwhile, I felt incredibly guilty because
You
I was
should
part
be.
of the reason they had split up. That's why I told David, it's better for me to go home now. Of course he wanted me to stay, but I left anyway.
Aww.
But when I had reached the door of his building, I saw his ex-girlfriend sitting outside on the stairs crying. I didn't want her to see me, so I went back into David's apartment and spent the night there. It was the first time I slept in a bed with a guy. David tried kissing me, but I told him no. However, the next morning, I woke up with David's arms around me and it felt so good. I turned around and when he woke up, he said, there's my little turtle. And then he gave me a kiss. And yes, we are in a relationship now.
Moral of the story, make sure you find you a little turtle.